is continuing their son's legacy and his passion for music at MSU. I'm Tori Boatner and find out what exactly this family is doing to support other students who also have a passion for music.
How can drones impact local farms in Mississippi? I'm Drew Gardner, and we'll look at the way these drones can assist farms and help out local farmers.
Tonight with a deadly infectious virus inching closer to Mississippi. Good afternoon, I'm Dundrea Blanchard.
And I'm Tori Boatner. Coronavirus has come to Tennessee. Governor Bill Lee announced the first confirmed case of the virus in a 44-year-old man living near Nashville. Governor Lee said that the man recently traveled out of state and is now quarantined at home with mild symptoms. Health officials are compiling a list of people who had contact with the patient. The Tennessee announcement comes one day after the governor formed a new coronavirus task force. Here's what you need to know about the coronavirus. It's also called COVID-19. The fast-spreading virus originated in Wuhan, China, and has become a worldwide epidemic. According to the World Health Organization, the virus has infected about 93,000 people and killed 3,200. In the U.S., the virus has spread to 14 states and killed 11 people, according to the Centers of Disease Control. Deaths have occurred in California and Washington state. While there are no cases confirmed of the virus in Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves appointed a response and preparedness committee this week. It will be led by the doctor leading the State Department of Health. According to reports, several people in the state have been tested for the virus, but those tests came back negative. The coronavirus committee appointed by Reeves will include people from the Mississippi State Department of Health, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, and several other state government groups. Meanwhile, Mississippi State says it's monitoring the virus by keeping in regular contact with the Mississippi Department of Health and other health officials. The university says it's taking all precautions to protect students, faculty, and staff. MSU has a link to the coronavirus page on its website. The page has links to reliable sites with the latest information and tips to prevent spreading illnesses like washing hands and staying away from sick people. For a link to this page, visit Take 30 News on Facebook at Take 30 News MSU.
Last night was a scary one for many people across Mississippi. The Associated Press reports at least 90 homes were damaged by storms that blew through the central part of the state last night. Strong winds toppled trees into some vehicles and peeled roofs off of buildings. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency said it had received reports of 60 homes being damaged in Madison County, 25 homes in Rankin County, and 5 homes in Scott County. MEMA told reporters some schools are closed, and at one point about 21,000 customers were without power. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, recovery efforts continue after deadly tornadoes touched down earlier this week. At least 24 are confirmed dead, including 5 children under the age of 13. 18 people were killed in Putnam County, including 5 children. County officials say 2 people are still unaccounted for.
CNN's Nick Valencia spoke with Putnam County resident and first responder Tracy Brown. Brown says she's turned her home into a triage center during the storm.
And we turned it into the command center, and we doctored abrasions, scrapes, bruises, bumps, glass in the feet. We just tried to do as much help as we could, and of course we have a storm shelter, so we put everybody downstairs.
What was it like? What was it like?
It was cold, it was wet, it was scary, the unknown. We just didn't know what was going to happen. And where do we begin? Where do we start over?
Brown described the twister as a train crashing through her neighborhood with so much force that it uprooted a 600-year-old tree. Driving while under the influence has been a major problem across the nation, but recent studies show that in the state of Mississippi, rates have decreased. A study published on QuoteWizard.com shows Mississippi ranks 4 in the largest decrease of lives lost to DUIs by a stunning 51%. State Trooper Sergeant Derek Beckham says he attributes this to 2 things, apps like Uber and Lyft, but also the work that the police are doing.
Every day, people inside this organization understand that we're short-handed, but still we're going to take care of enforcement, trying to maintain the safety on the highways for our public.
Beckham says that they will continue to work hard to get the numbers down even lower.
Other countries and dangerous pranksters. That's what Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch says she's worried about when it comes to the security of the state's computers and electronic devices. The governor is appointing Fitch to lead a cyber security task force to keep hackers out of the state's computers. One Mississippi inmate died Tuesday at a Jackson hospital, and another died Wednesday at the Mississippi State Penitentiary at Parchman. The Mississippi Department of Corrections said a 62-year-old died Tuesday at Merritt Health Central and that no foul play is suspected. The Sunflower County coroner says she was called to Parchman on Wednesday after a physician there said an inmate had died. According to the coroner, the inmate was in the inpatient department and had been receiving treatment for a terminal illness. At least 24 Mississippi inmates have died since late December, and the state prison system is under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department.
A former MSU student's life is gone too soon. Keon Docher was passionate about gospel, jazz, and blues, but cancer took his life in 2014. Here's a look at how his love and passion for music lives on.
See life as a struggle. He just saw it as being lived at fullest.
MSU's annual Ragtime Festival, full of jazz, blues, ragtime, and folk, once featured a student with a special story in 2014. His impact and his legacy lives on today. The festival's co-chair said he was amazed by his performance.
I do remember vividly him performing here. This was the first time we'd had a student performer. And he wowed us.
Docher's father said his son was so excited when he was asked to perform at the annual Ragtime and Jazz Festival. Shortly after his performance in 2014, he lost his fight with terminal cancer of the navel cavity after battling for 13 years. Docher was a junior at MSU when he performed and was majoring in music education with an emphasis on piano.
Well, everyone enjoyed him so well that she decided to ask the music program for other students, up-and-coming students, that was really talented or kind of, over extraordinary.
The Keon Docher Student Achievement Award has been presented at the music festival for the last 6 years to an outstanding student majoring in music at MSU. Keon was no stranger to hitting every note just right on pianos like these, and once he passed away, his parents knew that he would want to be remembered for his talent.
He really loved it. He probably would say, "Dad, I told you I'm gonna be famous. I told you I'm gonna be famous."
Keon not only loved playing music, but he also loved sharing his passion in teaching kids younger than him how to play the piano.
He wanted to do great things, and he wanted to help people. Especially younger kids. He loved the younger kids.
Continuing Keon's passion for helping younger children learn music, his family offers a $500 college scholarship to a graduate of Choctaw High School in Ackerman, Mississippi.
When you think of farmers, do you think of drones? The future of farming may be going airborne. Find out how farmers are adapting to the new technology.
Need to be used for surveillance or military farming.
this is the best thing going at Mississippi State right now.
We are doing so many different things that we learned in the classroom that we are now getting to apply that I didn't even think that we would get to apply.
It's really invaluable. People that you meet, the connections that you're gonna make are priceless as well.
Prism is gonna prepare you for the future.
You're getting something that most college students don't get in this major.
Just go for it. Like, there's really nothing to lose. You can only go up.
The real world experience is here while also getting the college credit.
There's so many different aspects to it outside of public relations.
We can use anybody's interest and anybody's expertise to really kind of go into public relations, because public relations is really all-inclusive.
Don't let the name hold you back from applying, because we do need more people other than public relations.
Students at a large local apartment complex were promised development on the ground floor. They hoped for restaurants and stores, but right now all they have is empty space. Dirt floors, scattered construction materials, and sections of piping are what fill the ground floor right now, and residents have taken notice. Senior resident Montel Smith is in his first and last year of residence at College View, and he says he's disappointed that he won't see any developments before he graduates. The international business major sees the issues but can't help for wishing for more than what he's been giving.
Get it from a corporate level, because they don't want to have any information put out there that might be false. But for us residents, it kind of sucks because, like I said before, it's just a big open retail space that's down there that's kind of just sitting there, and we're not hearing anything about it.
City and project developer confirmed that 2 businesses are finalizing build-out plans for the retail spaces. Take 30 will have those businesses, and when people they hope to move in when we return from spring break. The future of farming is very different from the past.
Take 30's Drew Gardner shows us what new technology means for one of the biggest industries.
At Dorman Hall, these engineering students are currently building drones. These drones aren't made to be used for surveillance or military, but farming. Farming drones have surged in popularity over the years and seem to be the future of farming. Dennis Lott helps design the drones and is ready to take Shirley out to fly.
This is, Dr. Fox has named it Shirley. She names all of her aircraft.
I'm currently at the Mississippi Horse Park, where we're actually going to be flying a couple of these drones over in this area over here. At the Horse Park, the Plant and Soil Science Department tested out a couple of these flying machines, along with Shirley. Assistant Clinical Professor of MSU's Plant and Soil Science Department, Dr. Amelia Fox, says these drones can be used for a variety of farming projects, but how will they affect the job market in places like rural Mississippi?
At Mississippi State, the Precision Ag program is aimed at young, soon-to-be farmers, teaching them how to do mapping technologies, how to do remote sensing, how to fly drones, so that they can do this work themselves.
At Bountiful Harvest Farms, drones are being used for photography and to track weak spots around the farm. Owner of Bountiful Harvest, Sam McLemore, uses them for several different purposes.
I really like using them for the record keeping, being able to take shots monthly at least, if not more often.
I'm Drew Gardner, Take 30 News.
Thanks to these drones, farmers can better analyze and treat their crops through their eye in the sky.
Teachers and students have complained about small classrooms and not enough workspace. But according to the Bagley College of Engineering Department head, Dr. Truax, the new Ruler Engineering and Science Complex will solve these problems. Truax says the new engineering complex on Hardy Road is designed to improve the STEM program and allow more space for a variety of new research. The Ruler Engineering building is set to be complete this summer as faculty and students await for this building usage next semester.
The alumni, the faculty, and I thought that it was time for us to make an effort to try and secure a more robust, more modern facility. We currently occupy a little more than 20,000 square feet, and we have no classroom space. We have limited graduate student space, and we have to share space for research and teaching.
Dr. Truex says when construction is finished, a significant number of parking spaces will open up and parking will improve on north end of Hardy Road as a result of moving down the intersection.
Mississippi State University will digitize records of slaves in Mississippi. Take 30's Monica Mosley has more on what is called Lantern Project.
The Lantern Project is shining a light on lives of former slaves. MSU received a grant to start a program called the Lantern Project that is digitizing the records of former slaves in Mississippi. In this collection, you can find bills of sale, receipts from the capture of crime committed, medical bills, and family letters that document slaves. The descendants of the Duncan and Blackwell family plantation of New Albany, Mississippi, saw other families struggling to trace their roots when they decided to contribute to the Lantern Project.
It inspired her to donate her family papers here in Mississippi because she had records of enslaved persons for Mississippi and Alabama, and she wanted to assist other African American researchers with doing that research.
Photos like this of Calvin Duncan can now be used to trace families across the United States. MSU will have no restrictions giving the public equal access to these documents. I'm Monica Mosley of Take 30 News.
The database will be housed in MSU's library. The project is one of only a few in the South and is funded by a $340,000 grant.
It's now time to turn things over to Holly Emery with Take 30 Sports.
What do you have for us, Holly?
Well, I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a rough week for Hail State Athletics. However, one team was able to keep their game in check. We'll be right back after the break.
I'm Cash Matlock from the Wednesday crew in the fall of 2018.
Learning, growing, becoming. Take 30 News at MSU.
My name is Donovan Andrade. I graduated from a high school in the Middle East. I wanted to find the college that best suits home for me, and I found it here. Out of all of the universities, Mississippi State tops them all. MSU's theater program is unique to me because it's challenging, it's energetic, and it can also make you very open-minded to the world. Theater has its own community where you're never really alone. Everyone around you is family, and it felt like home.
You hear about it most every week in the fall. Some player, somewhere, is fighting for his life after a head injury. Those are the days when the game stops being a game. So I started thinking about armors in nature. For example, rams are protected when they collide. Could that guiding principle be applied to football helmets? We're replicating this process with the hopes of reducing concussions. We're taking strides to save lives. Why do we do this? For the praise? To be esteemed as research pioneers? No, not at all. This is for them, the kids, and making sure the game keeps being a game.
Welcome back to Take 30. I'm Holly Emery. Mississippi State's women's basketball started March on the right foot by beating the school up north, Ole Miss. The Lady Bulldogs traveled to Oxford for the last game of the regular season and notched a 25-point victory over the Rebels. Key players for the Bulldogs included freshman Aaliyah Matharu, who put 24 points on the board and then stole twice. Jordan Danbury put 18 points up, rebounded 7 times, and had 5 assists. And finally, Chloe Bibby was 5 for 6 in shooting with 4 rebounds to add to the lead. After this game, the women's team finished the regular season with a 25-5 record, finishing 9th in the NCAA and 2nd in the SEC. This is the 6th year in a row that the women's team has ended with their season in the top 3 in the SEC. Going into the weekend, the women's team will be playing in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. The Bulldogs will be playing this Friday at 5 p.m., and they will play the winner of the Florida LSU game, and that game will be happening tonight at 5 p.m. Looking over to the men's team, their loss at South Carolina Tuesday may have been the final nail in the coffin for their dreams of going to March Madness. The Gamecocks proved to be much more aggressive near the rim, with 36 of their points coming from inside the paint. South Carolina had a better night shooting overall, making over 48% of their shots compared to the Bulldogs' 39%. Despite a strong game from Tyson Carter with 24 points and Reggie Perry adding 17 points, the Dogs weren't able to get much momentum going in the second half. The loss put the Bulldogs' record to 10-7 in the SEC, which is now the same as South Carolina, who now owns the tiebreaker with the head-to-head win. We'll have more on their next game in just a moment. But first, switching from the court to the diamond, although the baseball team was in sunny California over the weekend, the Dogs seemed to have a dark cloud over them. The Bulldogs lost the series to Long Beach State over the weekend with scores that weren't close. Game 1 ended with a 4-0 loss to Long Beach State, and then a complete flip in the Game 2 with the Dogs winning 9-0. In Game 3, the Bulldogs scored in the top of the first, but never scored again. By the 9th inning, it was 6-2 Dirtbags. After the Bulldogs series win over powerhouse Oregon State, the loss came as a shock to many baseball fans. A look at the games ahead during spring break. If you're around this weekend, there are a few home games from the baseball team, softball team, and the men's basketball team. Your Diamond Dogs will be playing against the Quinnipiac Bobcats starting at 4 p.m. Friday, and the softball team will be hosting a tournament starting at 5:30 p.m. against Mississippi Valley State. The men's basketball team will be playing their final regular season game against Ole Miss at the Hump this Saturday at 5:30 p.m. During spring break, be sure to watch your men's and women's basketball team play in their SEC tournaments on the SEC Network. That's all for Take 30 Sports. Back to you, Tori.
Don't touch that remote. We've got more Take 30 after these messages.
Have you ever thought about becoming a teacher, but the challenges of life or travel restrictions keep holding you back? Mississippi State can get you there. With our convenient online courses, you can earn a degree in elementary education while learning from MSU professors on a schedule that works for you. And the best part? Graduates enjoy high job placement across the state. So why wait? Take the first step toward a better, more fulfilling career, no matter where you are.
Welcome back to Take 30. I am Aranisha Dukes, and here's what's trending. First up, we take a look at Grammy-nominated pop star Lady Gaga' futuristic return to music this week with her new hit song, Stupid Love. The singer premiered the tragic and colorful video this past Friday as her first single for her new self-proclaimed era, Chromatica. It will be interesting to see what is in store for the singer this year. Speaking of music, American rapper Doja Cat released her highly anticipated music video for her popular song, Say So. The song is Doja Cat's first single off of her second album, Hot Pink. The After Doja Cat's team saw the video, they invited Hailey to be a part of the music video and the opportunity to do the dance she created. We look forward to seeing what Doja Cat has in store for us this year with her music. Happy birthday to all the February 29th babies out there. The once every 4-year holiday is celebrated for many reasons, but most people take into account the scientific reasons behind it. Leap year was introduced over 2,000 years ago by Roman general Julius Caesar. Did you know that if the leap year was not incorporated into the calendar year, the timing of the world's 4 seasons will inevitably shift, thus changing the dates we are used to them falling on? One old-time tale surrounding the holiday is it brings the right for every woman to get down on one knee and propose. One English law decided that the leap year day has no legal status, meaning that a break in tradition on February 29th was acceptable. The next leap year won't come around until 2024, and we'll be sure to check in with you all on those future proposing ladies. One last thing to celebrate this week is the 2nd annual Taco Hop happening tonight here in Starkville. Tonight at 5 p.m., the Starkville public will be able to gather in the downtown Cotton District to enjoy craft beer, live music, and some of Starkville's favorite local restaurants bringing their renditions of handcrafted tacos. Tacos will be sold for $2 each, with craft beer tastings going for $25, which can be purchased during the arrival of today's festivals. For more information, go to visit.starkville.org. Well, that's all for what's trending. Let's go back to the desk.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here 2 weeks from today.
There won't be live Take 30 broadcasts next week as the university is out for spring break.